it's Gabrielle here, and I decided to make a video today about closing costs. I saw a statistic that said 25% of buyers were confused about closing costs. So I decided to take a poll on my Instagram stories, and lo and behold, 80% of you answered that you don't know what closing costs are or how much they cost. Let's start with, what are closing costs? Well, that's a hard one. So the reason that's difficult to spell out in really simple terms is because there's a lot that goes into closing costs. Closing costs consist of the different fees and the costs that come with purchasing a home. And there's a list of them. And so it can be things like the lender, who you're borrowing the loan from, they have their fees. And there's different ones they charge, as well as you're paying prorated taxes, appraisal, and different things like that. There's no one list of fees that I could give you that would show you exactly what you're going to pay to close on a home. But the good news is there is a general average that you will see for closing costs. Before we get into that, let me explain. Down payment and closing costs, two different things. When we talk about down payment, you might be thinking, okay, that's the cost to close on a home. I can see that logic, but that's not the case. So down payment on a home is pretty much the same thing as a down payment on a car. You want to take out a $20,000 loan on a car, they make you put $2,000 down, similar concept. So for a $200,000 home, if you're a first-time home buyer, you might have to put down about 3.5%. So 3.5% for a $200,000 home is $7,000. All right, so that's down payment. Cost over there. Closing costs are totally separate costs that have nothing to do with the down payment, and generally you will see around 3, maybe 3.5% of the cost of the home will be about what your closing costs are. Now again, these can vary. Occasionally, yeah, they'll be below 3%. Sometimes they'll be up to 4%, and I've even seen it quoted that they can go as high as 6%. But in my experience, my buyers are usually paying right around 3%. So for that $200,000 home, that is an additional $6,000 in closing costs. And if you want to err on the side of caution, maybe save up 3.5%, $7,000. Okay, so if you need $7,000 for a down payment and then $7,000 for closing costs, that's $14,000 that you will need to purchase a home. All right, now I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, Gabrielle, I do not have $14,000 saved, but I want to buy a home. So what do? Do I have to just wait until I have $14,000? No, you don't have to wait until you have $14,000. You can go under contract on a home and purchase a home for less than that. And here are maybe a few ways that you can accomplish that. If you have pretty good credit and you're a good candidate, you obviously have to make a certain amount of money. You can potentially be able to qualify for down payment assistance, which means they will pay a portion or maybe even in full your down payment costs. If you don't qualify for down payment assistance, you could ask for seller's concessions. What are seller's concessions? Well, they are where you negotiate or ask the seller to help cover a portion of the closing costs. If you're able to get that done, that could be $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 worth of seller's concessions you can negotiate in the deal. That is just less out of your pocket that you have to bring to the closing table. So it's very possible to only have $8,000 or $9,000, $10,000 and be able to close on a home. All right, so I hope that helped you understand what closing costs are and how much to expect to pay for them. Now again, there are ways to get around that, but those aren't always easy. So you might want to strive to save as much money as possible, but definitely feel free to reach out to me, ask questions, gain some more knowledge, and be more prepared for your home purchase. Thanks so much for watching. See you later.